I've made warps before that have close to 1,000 threads, but I just kind of wanted to challenge myself to see how small I could weave. So I thought stamps were a pretty good place to start. I'm Elycia SFA and I'm a textile artist based in Toronto. My practice is essentially all weaving, and it's all done on this loom. I'm really drawn to process-based work. I find it just really rewarding, and just to think about that, the fact that every single thread in a piece has sort of like passed through my fingers just makes me feel very connected to the pieces that I'm making. So right now I'm weaving a stamp. This is a sort of ongoing series that I've been working on for a couple years now. And so all of the stamps are based on real stamps that I have. So the first collection came from this tin of stamps that my grandpa gave me when I was a little kid. He collected stamps, but I guess they were ones that had like, you know, little creases, or like they weren't pristine enough to go in the binder. So so he gave them to me, which was really nice. And I've just had them for like 20 years. And wanted to challenge myself to see how tiny I could weave. Definitely inspired by nostalgic objects. Referencing a lot of ephemeral objects like letters and stamps or old family photos, objects that are tools for communication. Inherently in the process of remembering and forgetting and re-remembering, there's a certain distortion that happens. So, you know, when you're recalling something, you, without even knowing, subconsciously maybe changing certain details or thinking about it differently. I like how that ties in with recreating the image in the woven cloth, because you are taking the image and recreating it, and it is sort of different and distorted. You know, if it's like a tiny face, it ends up being the gesture of a face being there. It can be very overwhelming sometimes with making work about, you know, exploring personal narratives. It can feel kind of vulnerable, which is partially why I like sort of keeping the stories and specific ideas behind the pieces sort of to myself and not sharing it as part of the work. I like to keep the work or the context a little bit vague, just to sort of leave room for people who are viewing the work to sort of see themselves, potentially see themselves in the work, or have it jog a certain memory for them. It's really interesting how much complete strangers will just open up and share these personal stories with me, and say that, oh, this reminds me of this thing, and yeah, it's a really nice way of connecting with people.